Hey everybody, this is Alzorath and welcome to GamerFi. Today we're taking a first impressions look at Hearthstone, the beta of course. I just, this morning got my invitation to the beta and I've been playing it quite a bit today. I've already gone through my free arena run, I've already gone through the practice mode, and yeah. I've gone through the practice mode with multiple characters, but I enjoy it a lot and I have found it quite a fun, albeit casual game. Now, I don't see this thing having a really strong, extremely competitive scene, other than the fact that it's a Blizzard game. It's going to have a strong scene to begin with, and there is going to be competition. I just don't see it having quite the fruitful tournament scene as stuff like StarCraft or Magic the Gathering. So let's go ahead and talk about the game itself. I find the animations to be very fluid. Right now I'm recording at 60 frames per second. You're going to be seeing this at about 30, so there is going to be some loss there for you, but it is extremely smooth. Even with my recorder running, I'm not suffering many, if at all, any frame drops. Before I jump into the practice thing, we're going to go ahead and jump into the collection screen, because there is something I want to mention here. In here, thankfully, it's fairly well organized. I actually got some new cards from a match I just finished playing, which was Cleave, because I'm unlocking warrior stuff right now. But the deck screen, it's interesting. We're going to go ahead and make a new deck so I can show you how that works real quick before we jump into the actual game. Let's go ahead and just make something simple. Let's go ahead and make a Paladin deck, because I actually have the basics unlocked for that. So let's go ahead and choose that. It's going to pop up here, and we can have it suggest a card. It's going to suggest some of these as good starting points. And you have the little pop-up that actually talks to you. I don't know if I'm going to leave the audio loud enough for you to actually hear it, but there's a lot of voice acting in this that's pretty well done. It gets a little redundant at times with certain things, but not very often. It's got the same Blizzard flair a lot of things they've made have. We're going to go ahead and go with their suggestion because this Argent Protector is actually fairly good. I love it as a little trick card. Let's go ahead and just get done there. We're going to go through here and do it the normal way. Obviously, when building a Paladin deck, it limits this down to where you can only see the Paladin and the neutral items. So we're not going to actually save this deck, but you can see some of the cards here. You right click on them and it'll zoom in and give you a much more interesting view, as well as some flavor text over here, tell you what kind of card it is, whether it's basic set, expert set, or a legendary or bonus item. For example, let's see, that's not a bonus item. There is one, however, right over here. This is a legendary item that you get from getting stuff in the shop. Now, the crafting system, we're going to go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to end up making a wisp with it, but in here you can actually have it. There's a button that goes right here whenever you have extra cards that allows you to basically disassemble your cards into dust. Dust in turn can be turned into, well, new cards. For example, the wisp here, we actually don't have enough to create that. We are at, let's see, it costs, it only costs 40. We have enough. We can go ahead and create the wisp if we want. We could create some other cards as well. Let's go ahead and just create the wisp. Boom, you automatically just create it, and here comes a second wisp. We're probably not going to use it, but that was just a demonstration of how you do it. I like this system as it gives you a way to basically build your collection free without having to pay for stuff, and quests give you the opportunity to do that as well. So let's go ahead and back out of here. I'm not going to save that deck. We're going to go ahead and just, your 29s, no, we're not even going to keep that one. Let's go ahead and delete it. Confirm. We'll even delete the custom mage one because that was me just messing around with the set. And we'll go ahead and go on back. This is just how you browse through your cards. There's a lot of them here. And as you can see, you can flip through it pretty quickly. I'm curious to see how this system will work out whenever they get more sets, but they do have the filtering system down here, which makes it fairly easy to do. Promo set, expert set, basic set, etc. So I have a feeling as we see expansions, we'll see them added to the set list, so we can kind of go through those in particular. But for the sake of this episode, let's go ahead and break down how the game actually plays, and we'll go into the practice mode for that. I may go into the arena mode, I may not, but I'll definitely be doing a series over it in the future just to give you an idea of how it plays out. And here is the basic decks, because we don't have the a custom deck anymore. You just have a right and left arrow right here to select the custom decks. As you can see, some of them have exclamation points over them, some of them do not. The ones that you've reached level 10 with, which is how you get the basic sets, are already done. They don't have the exclamation point over them. But the ones that you haven't completed do. As you can see, I've only finished 2. So we're going to go ahead and just go with the warrior since I'm currently unlocking his stuff. And we're going to go ahead and choose, and let's go ahead and jump into a battle against, let's go against the shaman. He summons totems, and he's not a terrible opponent for the warrior. There are good and bad matchups, by the way, as each hero plays rather distinctly in many senses. So we have Garish versus Thrall. And let's see. Oh, we got to go first. If you don't go first, you often get an extra card and a card called the Coin. The Coin is a card that's 0 cost that allows you to cast bigger cards earlier, but you can only use it once throughout the match. It's kind of to overcome the first turn advantage. Now, looking at our starting hand, this is something that's definitely worth mentioning, is the Hearthstone mulligan system. You can actually choose, let's say, well, we definitely don't want those two because they're too high cost for us to play on. We'll keep the Murloc Raider simply because he is a guaranteed turn 1 drop, so we can use him to kind of establish on the board. And I think this might not be that bad of a setup. Let's go ahead and click confirm, and when we click confirm, you'll see they get shuffled back into their deck, and you pull 2 more cards. Now we actually have a decent little setup here. We have a turn 3 drop and a turn 1 drop. Our opponent didn't have anything. I mean, we're going first, so our opponent has 0 crystals, so yeah. Let's go ahead and throw down the Murloc Raider. We don't want to use this card. We want to save it for a bigger ally, but this little guy right here is going to be really important to us. Let's go ahead and end turn right now. And they bring out a boar, and it's going to trade with my little Murloc, I'd wager. Yep, there it goes. And it moves on to turn 2. And we get to move through our stuff. Nothing really good on turn 2, so we might as well just use our hero ability. Hero abilities are activated with the same crystals you use to cast your spells. And as you can see, now I have 2 crystals, simply because I have taken 2 turns. Each turn you get 1 more crystal, and every turn they all recharge. And it only goes up to 10. You can only have a max of 10 crystals, so you can't go hog wild and be casting some insane things. But they're going to go ahead and cast out the Frostwolf Grunt. They still have not used the Coin, which kind of surprises me. But we get a Wolf Rider, which we're going to go ahead and throw out. He has charge on his own, so we can go ahead and trade with that guy and get it over with. And end turn. Hopefully we'll draw some of our big guys so I can actually win this one, but that may or may not happen. It just really depends. Our armor protect us. Here's a coin. Is he going to use it for something good? Stone Tusk Boar. Ew. That's just all kinds of nasty. He's establishing a much better board presence than me. Sadly, we are going to throw out the Warsong Commander and actually just throw him under the bus. I hate doing that because I love that card. Let's go ahead and put charge on him just so we can guarantee we get rid of this boar. And end turn. I wish we wouldn't have had to do that because this Boulder Fist Ogre is insane with charge. Oh, nope, he's going to go straight after me. That's great. Oh, and he's going to freeze that guy. Ouch. There's another Warsong Commander. Yeah, I can put that out. And we can go ahead and use our armor up ability again just to prevent a little bit of this damage that is just flooding in on us. There's another raid leader. Ew, and they are going to trade for everything. Nope, they're going straight for me. That's always good. He's going to go ahead and kill that guy. And we're going to get a big guy out this turn with charge thanks to our little ability there. Let's go ahead and do that. Boom. And start killing these guys. Down to 1 life. But that guy's really, really nerfed now. And yeah, he's going to just keep coming after us. This is hurting like hell. So he's knocking us down to 10. That's sucking something terrible. But we get a lot of good cards this turn. As you can see, things happen, and we can... Oh. Gotta wait for it to catch up, because we did a whole lot of stuff really fast there. Now, this is going to be a taunt character. I could have mentioned it before, but I wanted to show it on my own side of the board. Taunt prevents the opponent from attacking directly on any of the non-taunt creatures. Basically, he has to kill this before he can kill anything else on my board, before he can even hit me. The only exception is direct damage abilities, which I know the Shaman is somewhat lacking in. So that's definitely somewhere I'm looking at, and since I have charge on all my guys, I'm going to go ahead and just trade off for these guys and start dealing some of this damage back, because we were getting overwhelmed pretty heavily there. See if we can actually pull out of this one. Booty Bay Bodyguard. Wow. And a Doctor. Not too bad. We can actually start building up behind this. We got this big guy, who's another taunt guy. Now, whenever you have two taunt characters, the enemy can attack either one of them. It's their choice. As you can see, I can always choose who I attack, because you can have this little arrow that says, hey, I'm going to hit him. So we're going to go ahead and take that guy down. We're going to use our ability again. And we'll just smack these guys around and start coming in for some serious damage on our opponent. In turn. We have not a strong board presence, but we have one. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, it's a taunt. That's the first time I've seen that totem. And I've played against the Shaman several times. Well, let's go ahead and get this guy up. And we'll go ahead and use our ability again, because why not? There's no point not to. I should have been more efficient with my attacks just than I should have used the 2-2. But we're just trying to get through this match so I can talk about some other things. Let's go ahead and end turn. And before the end of the match, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the interesting little side tidbits that they've thrown in. As you can see where my cursor is, if I click on some things, it causes little reactions. I can lower this gate by clicking on it enough. I can click on the Zeppelin, and it reacts. I can also load up the catapult and launch it, which I find greatly entertaining. And if you click on it enough, it goes back down. Grab another rock. Boom. Yeah. It's something to waste time on your opponent's turns, which is really kind of entertaining. But I'm slowly just like losing it here just by pestering that. Let's go ahead and kill that thing. Now, if you right-click on a guy, it'll pop up more information, or if you just hover over him. Now, you can see down at the bottom, there's a little like banner that falls out of their bottom of the card that gives you the abilities that the creature currently has affecting them. For example, all of these have charge, and this one has taunt, and you can see all these different effects. So we're going to go ahead and just finish them off. And if you do a bunch of attacks in succession, you can actually see it impact them a little bit more with each hit. And the end is very palpable explosion of their little avatar. I really do enjoy the very tactile feel of the combat in this. It's something that's really lacking from a lot of TCGs. You have a lot of like visual and audio feedback from your actions, which is really awesome, and I do see myself playing this quite frequently, even if just casually. Now, we could go through another match. I think I showed you most of the basics there. The coin is one of the very big things that's being discussed about the game, because it is a really big key element in countering the first turn advantage. Magic the Gathering simply counters it with an extra card draw. Shadow Era counters it with Shadow Energy and an extra card draw as well. And it just kind of... each game deals with it in their own way, and I really do like the coin mechanic because it really does counter the kind of resource advantage the first turn person would have. So we're going to go ahead and go, and it only counters it temporarily just for that one turn, so it works out really well. Let's go ahead and go back, and I'm not going to go into a custom match against an opponent in this one. There are a number of opponents online in the beta already. I mean, I don't have to wait that long for a game pretty much ever. I imagine upon official launch, it'll be really easy to get into games simply because of how many people there will be online. And I really enjoyed it, and I plan to cover the arena actually in a future episode. I think this one's probably gone on long enough to get you an idea of how the game flows, and honestly, that's about how long games against players go unless it's a really involved back and forth battle, and even then it doesn't take that long to play, which makes it kind of a nice casual game to play around with. And I have to wonder if they'll eventually develop a tablet or smartphone version of it, although I see the visual fidelity possibly going down if they do that. It's really a fun game, and I highly recommend it. If you get a chance to get in the beta, jump at it, give it a try, and I will see you guys in future episodes of Let's Play Hearthstone. I think I'm going to go for an arena-based video series on it, not just casual play PvP or even practice mode. But yeah, I'll cover opening packs later in one of my other videos where I'll crack some packs just for you guys. And yeah, keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath, this has been GamerFi, and I hope it gave you a nice little introduction to the game and gave you my thoughts on how well it is. I actually enjoy it, and I see myself playing it for quite some time. Keep gaming, have fun, peace out. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you in future Hearthstone content on this channel. Bye.